Hi everyone, this is DeFi Dad. I want to walk you through some token sets that are using the token Link. I've had a lot of people reaching out and asking, just about the performance of different token sets that use Link. So I'm going to focus just on their performance. This has nothing to do with the fundamental value of the token Link. Just for some context, if you want to do your own research and learn about the Link token, it is the native token that powers Chainlink. And just to read it right off their website, Chainlink network provides a reliable, tamper-proof input and output for complex smart contracts on any blockchain. What does that mean? I think the most common use case I think about is you use Chainlink essentially as an oracle, and that oracle is a way for me to trade a derivative on synthetics, and that derivative, let's say, is tracking the S&P 500. So we need a reliable price feed on the S&P 500, and that is also a very risky vector for attack if someone was able to manipulate that. And so Chainlink helps to provide a reliable tamper-proof price feed for something like a derivative trading on synthetics. Okay, that all being said, let's just focus on different token sets that are using the Link token. So there's two different approaches here. On token sets, you can use social trading sets. Those are sets where a trader is actually controlling the set. They may be using an automated trading strategy, but it's theirs. I mean, likely it's a proprietary type strategy, and that person who is trading, by holding that set that trader is in control of, you're essentially copying all of their trades. So if they buy ETH, your set is now rebalancing into ETH. If they sell it back into USDC, your set will see that selling back into USDC. And obviously, at the end of the day, I think everyone's goal is whatever token set you hold, you hope that during the time frame you hold it, it goes up over time percentage wise, because that way then your money ultimately grows, versus if the token set is failing or just whatever, making the wrong moves, now you have a token set that's actually losing money. Okay, so let's review the Robo Sets, or automated trading strategies that are using the Link token. So I've gone here under assets, under Robo Sets, and I've chosen Chainlink. So now I've got all of these link-based Robo Sets. And if we take a look at the Link RSI set, keep in mind this is a strategy that is automated but based on the relative strength index RSI of Link USD. So if we scroll down, you see that under the Link RSI set, it's composed of the Link token and USDC. So when things are quote unquote bearish, we are selling Link for USDC. And when things are quote unquote more bullish, we are buying back Link with that USDC. And this is all automated by smart contracts. So the actual strategy stipulates that when the RSI of Link moves below 45, we would then rebalance from Link into USDC. So what does that mean? We fall below 45 RSI, that is considered bearish. And once we are bearish, we are now selling Link with the idea that the price is going to hopefully fall, and we'll have USDC then that we can buy back that Link at a lower price. Or the opposite situation occurs where the RSI moves above 55, which would be more bullish, and now we are buying back the Link token with our USDC. The other condition that has to be satisfied here is you have to have at least 1 day in between rebalances. So 1 day, as long as the RSI moves above 55 or below 45, we would trigger a rebalance. All right, so that's one trading strategy. The second trading strategy is the Link ETH RSI ratio. So this is very similar. The idea is basically the same, except we are swapping between ETH and Link. So that means that if it is more bearish, quote unquote, if we fall below 45 RSI, we are selling here we go. We are selling our link for ETH, but then if we go above 55, so you can see right now that this set is currently in ETH, so it must have flipped bearish some time ago, which you can actually see here. Here on this dotted line was a rebalance. And you can actually see below here that there's this blue line that shows up here as I scroll over. So you can see we were in Link, then we rebalance. Whoops, there we go. And now we are in ETH. So this set is currently in ETH. And when RSI goes back above 55, it will rebalance back to Link. So the difference between these two sets is really, are you happier or more bullish holding Link and USDC, or are you happier or more bullish holding Link and ETH? So there's the difference there. And I would say that judging between the two of these, I mean, the set that uses USDC is more conservative. So, you know, if the price of Link falls, I'm hopping into a stable coin. If the RSI falls below 45, and I'm basically now I'm at least able to preserve what value I have in USDC. But in this one, I'm flipping over to ETH, which could be falling against the US dollar, but I guess I'd prefer to have ETH. You could also think of it the other way. If you're in a bullish market, you're just trying to be on whichever one of these is more bullish. So when you look at the Link ETH RSI ratio, Link and ETH could both be surging against the US dollar, but maybe Link is outperforming ETH, and then that RSI would be higher, and so hence you would be in Link. Or the other case could be that ETH is more bullish and is actually rising faster, and now the RSI falls, and so this set ideally then would swap you over to ETH. So now that we understand how the two different trading strategies work for these robo sets, let's compare their performance. If I'm looking at just the two of them and I go back in the past 3 months, you can see here that the Link RSI set, the one that swaps between Link and USDC, has outperformed by about 6%. It's outperformed the Link ETH RSI ratio. And then this is all being measured against USD. If I flip it to Ether, Link has been underperforming ETH, it looks like, in this 3-month time period. And so still the Link RSI set outperforms this other Link set. Let's go ahead and remove the filter, and then we'll go ahead and go back to USD. So if I'm looking over the past 3 months, if I scroll down here, so by the way, you can see I've ranked it by 3-month performance. And if we scroll down, okay, here's where the Link RSI set shows up. So it's been up 6.3%, while there's been these other sets like the ETH BTC RSI ratio trading set that's up 16%. You have these crossover sets, which are simple ETH moving average type trading sets. So that's interesting as well. And then you also have an ETH RSI 6040 crossover set that's been up 63%. So, I mean, long story short, over the last 3 months, the Link robo sets have not performed very well. Now, if we go back to a month ago, because again, everything changes according to the time frame you're looking at here. Well, now my Link ETH RSI ratio trading set measured against the US dollar is up 24% or 25% and is the second best performing set. So I guess the question is, what happened over the last month versus the last 3 months? So if we click into this set, the cool thing that TokenSets provides are these like awesome graphs. So they're easy because you can scroll across it according to these set time frames, and you can see in green whether, in this case, how has ETH performed, just holding ETH, versus the actual Link ETH RSI set versus the Link token. And in this case, you can see that if we go to the very edge here, actually, an easier way is just to go down here. you can see that over the past 1 month, this set has been up about 20%, Ether has been up about 21%, and Link has been up about 10%. So if someone had, if you think back to a month ago, if someone had sold Link into Ether or deposited that Link into this set, they would be up, in this case, they would be up an extra 10%. So this set has outperformed Link by 10% over the last month. So this is good because the point of all of this again is to outperform simply holding a token. But again, if we go back 3 months, it's a different story. And so if I look back here, this, by the way, this will just take you back to whatever is a year, or it'll take you back to whenever the token set actually launched. So this token set launched on March 3rd. So it's barely 3 months ago. And what has happened since then in those 3 months is, first we were at a high. So let's take a look here. You can see I'm scrolled over March 6th, and then below, pay attention to this number here. You can see that it was at about $246. So ETH was at a local high, and then it fell, and Link fell with it. So again, if we look here, Link was at $4.70. So I'm paying attention to this number as I scroll over, $4.70. And that would explain like why right now Link is lower percentage wise. And that helps us to understand, why does that 3-month performance look so crappy? Well, we are measuring from a high. We're measuring from right before the March 12th market drawdown, or call it crash, since most of crypto fell about 50%. So yeah, anyways, this is interesting. So 3 months back, things don't look that great, but the market has changed in the last month, and we've been generally in an uptrend, and now we're sort of ranging. And you can see here that, again, if someone had been holding Link and they had deposited it into this set, I would be up an extra 10%. So take that for what it is. Let's take a look now at the other Robo set that uses Link. So that was the Link ETH set, where it's swapping in between Link and Ether. So I'm going to take a look at the one that swaps between USDC and Link. Okay, so interestingly, over the last month, this has just been sitting in Link. The reason I know that is that I don't see any of these, I don't see any dotted lines like when I scroll back out. These dotted lines represent rebalances. So you can see, the way I can track that is look below at the bars. So the bars show right now we're in 100% Link token. And then if I go here to March 25th, you can see the blue bar at the bottom showing that we're in 100% USDC. So then we rebalance on March 29th and we buy back the Link token. So now the Link RSI set is composed of 100% Link. And that's why when we look back over the month, there's nothing very interesting here, because what's gone on here is the set and what's in what you would have done just holding the Link token are identical. So you're up 10% either way if you held Link or you held the Link RSI set. So the other set has outperformed over the last month, the one that swaps between Ether and Link. One thing that I keep in mind with those sets is that you're swapping between two volatile assets. And so you can obviously gain more when you're in an uptrend, but you likely will lose more in a downtrend. So while the last month looks really nice for that Link ETH set, if you were more conservative and worried about downside, that would be a sign to me that I would think to use the Link RSI set that swaps between USDC and Link. What else here? Yeah, let's look back a little bit further. So this set launched on, oops, here we go. It launched on February 20th, so about 10 or 12 days before the other one. And so we have a little more history to this, but not much. You know, these are short time frames to consider, and they haven't been able to show how they perform in all sorts of different markets. But if we go back to that time frame, you can see now that holding the Link RSI set, you would be down 30% today from that date, so February 20th. If you simply held Link, you would only be down 4%. So this set has performed very poorly against just holding Link over the last 3 months. So what a difference that makes. If you look back a month, no biggie here. You actually perform the same way, which I think would be an argument for not using this set. And then if you go back 3 months, this set shows that it would have underperformed holding Link by 25%. So based on performance, this Robo set is definitely less interesting to me so far. I don't know how it's going to perform in a more like obvious bullish uptrend, but for right now, these definitely aren't good looking numbers to me. Okay, so now that we've covered Robo sets, let's go ahead and talk about social trading sets. And if you remember, social trading is where you have an actual trader that is in control of the set. So if I buy their token set, I'm now going to have my money copying the every move of the trades of that social trader. So, you know, the goal here is if I put money into a set, my hope is that that set will gain value over time versus lose value. Because when I pull my money out, if the token set has gained value, let's say it's gained 10%, my money has grown by 10%. And if that token set has, let's say, gone down 10% over the time that I've been invested in it, well, now my money has shrunk by 10%. So I've filtered here by Chainlink or the Link token. So there are, let's see here, there are 5 different social trading sets that are using the Link token. And I'm not going to go into what are the strategies behind these. I think it's better just to look at the numbers, because at the end of the day, like I just want to see performance that indicates that I might be able to beat holding Link or holding ETH or some other token in the market. So one of the things that's complicated about this at the moment is that you can see here that this set here is less than a month old. That's a very short time frame. We can take a look at it just for a moment, but I'd personally like to see token sets perform for at least 3 months. You know, 90 days at least gives me some sort of benchmark to work off of. And then you notice actually all of these are less than 3 months old. So this is going to be a little bit difficult. We're going to have to just look at the 1 month time frame. The other thing we could look at here is since inception. Although these haven't been around for 3 months, there's a chance that some of them have been around for nearly 3 months. So we'll figure that out. So first off, let's go ahead and take a quick look at each of these different sets. So we're just going to look at the inception date and see when that is. All right, the inception date or launch date of this token, March 27th. Today is June 12th, so almost 3 months. Let's see, this one is April 1st. So basically the same time frame, March 27th, April 1st. So at least those are 2 that we're comparing during the same time frame. April 23rd. So this one is, it's a month of less time, you know, being available, a month less of performance to compare. April 20th. Okay, so I guess these 2 are like near equivalent. So let's go back to this. So these top 2 have been around since around April 1st. And if we take a look, one of them is at nearly 109%. The other one's at 46.2%. So this one has been around longer than these others. I'm not going to compare these two with the two up top. It just doesn't make any sense because it's not the same time frame. So I'm going to take a look now at this set. Oh, actually, I can go back there just because I already opened it here. Let's see what's happened over that time frame. Okay, so first, all these little dotted lines, these are rebalances. So that's, I'm just find it interesting at least that this person has clearly been doing trades. So they've been rebalancing between Ether and Link. So this is a token set that doesn't rebalance with a stable coin. And so again, I would say there's a little more risk here because you're trading between two different volatile assets and you don't have a stable coin involved. But the bright side here is that this person has outperformed this set. This trader is at 100 and again nearly 110%. Ether has been up since then about 81%, and Link has been up about 85%. So I mean, if you were to have deposited Ether or Link into this set about April 1st or so, you would have outperformed Ether by almost 30%. So the difference here is about 30%. And then the difference here is about 25%. So that's pretty impressive. So if we go back to the main dashboard, so we covered the top performing set according to inception. It is the oldest link-based set, and it is almost 3 months old. So April, May, June. Yeah, it's about 2.5 months old. Let's go to the next one on our list, which was, it's up 46.6%. So this set, let's see here. Let's go ahead and look back as far as we can. So I'm using the 1-year time frame, but it actually just goes back to April 2nd. Okay. So I'm looking at this, and in that time frame, this set has gone up 46.57%. But if I had simply held Ether, I'd be up 68%, or if I had held Link, I'd be up 73%. I'm not saying that this is necessarily bad. You know, I don't look at this then and think, well, this set is not performing well and that I shouldn't use it. It just means that during this very short time frame, Ether and Link outperformed. So at this moment, I'm not as interested in this compared to this other token set. And I think what's interesting here also is, I mean, worth noting, market cap isn't always a good indicator of where you should or where I would think to buy token sets. Like sometimes the herd mentality is not where I want to put my money. But anyways, clearly this one has been outperforming. And as a result of that, there is a larger market cap. So there is more capital invested in this one versus this token set. And again, so far the top performing one is Moonshot Capital. SW Capital, I would still keep my eye on, but there's no comparing the two of these. This one has far outperformed it. Okay, so let's look at the next two, which started around this Link ETH Growth Alpha set. This one started, where do we go? Around April 23rd, and then the other one started around April 20th. Okay, so we're looking at nearly the same time frame. And in that time frame, they've performed about the same. You know, I mean, it's not a huge difference here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's happened over that time frame. So we are trading between Link and ETH, which was the case with the top performing set as well. And yeah, all of these so far have been Link and ETH based. Okay, so different time frame, but using the same tokens. And if I look back as far as I can to around March 27th, I'm sorry, April 27th. So April 27th. So this set is barely a month and a half old. in that time frame, there have not been, is that correct? There haven't been any. Oh, that's interesting. For some reason, it doesn't show me on the full time frame here. It doesn't show me all the different trades, which I just want to double check here. So by the way, you can go to the bottom and check the feed, and you can see all the different trades that have taken place, or that we call them rebalances and token sets. So yeah, here we go. This is also interesting too, because this person has not just been like rebalancing 100% from Link to ETH. They've, you can see here, generated, buy signal generated, increasing Link position to 60%. Sell signal generated, taking some profit, reducing Link to 40%. So, I mean, this is a good example of someone who is not just using some, very stringent like strategy where it's just we go all or nothing into Link or Ether. I mean, at the end of the day, you buy a social trading set, and you are putting your faith in the expertise of whoever is trading that set. Okay, so just looking back over the last month, there's actually, here's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, there's the 5 trades. Same thing as always. You can look here and see that the bars below show you that at this point, if you look at current price allocation, if you check this out, it shows that Link is at around 40%, Ether's around 60, then we rebalance, and now we're at, so let me just check here. We went from Link being at 40% to about 60%. So they incrementally increased the Link position. And anyways, without going too much further into this, this is the sort of stuff you can play with to kind of see what moves have been made and whether they were quote unquote the right move or not. But again, keep in mind, these are really short time frames, and I definitely don't have any sort of like harsh judgment of this. This stuff is, it's hard to trade. So as I'm looking at this, I think what's interesting to note is that if I had simply held Ether over this time frame since, let's go back to it was April 27th. If I had simply held Ether, I'd be up 28%. If I had held Link, I'd only be up 9.55%. And if I had held this set, I would be up 24%. That's pretty awesome. I like, it doesn't compare with the other set that, is a month older, but if someone were holding Link and they had put Link into this set around April 27th or 28th, that person would be up, a difference of almost 14%. So that there's a difference here of 14%. For someone who is holding Ether, there's less of an advantage there. And in fact, you would have been better off holding Ether versus this set. So yeah, anyways, this is interesting. Definitely, like I said, worth, following. Okay, last set. So this set, if we look here, I'm not going to look at this other set here because it's only been around for a week. It just doesn't make any sense. It's such a short time frame, or I guess it's been around less than a month. So I'm going to let that one play out more before I take a look at that. So if I look here at this last one that was up almost the same amount in the same time frame since late April. If I look up above here, and if I go back, so this is going back to the inception date, which was around April 20th. Oh no, I think it was, yeah, April 20th. Okay, so this set launched on April 20th. If I had deposited Link in at that time, I basically would have the same amount of money. There's no difference. And that is because it looks like this hasn't rebalanced yet. Yeah, it hasn't. Okay. So that's easy. So nothing really to compare here so far. This set has been sitting in Link since April 21st. The one thing that's interesting to note that's different about this set from the other social sets that use Link, this one swaps between Link and CDI. So this is a stable coin that earns interest in compound. But all I have to be aware of here is that when I swap out of Link or when I sell Link, or when the set sells Link, I end up in a stable value. I don't have to worry about being in another volatile asset. So that might be something that someone might consider if they were looking at these social trading sets and you were looking for one that wasn't as prone to drawdowns. Other than that, yeah, I think that's all there is to cover there. Actually, what the hell? Let's take a look at this one. This one's only been around for about, let me look at the start date, May 26th. So it's been around less than a month, about 3 weeks. And so far, there's a lot of trades. So that's interesting, at least, just to see that there's lots of trading. I'm not saying that's good or bad, just lots of activity. And if I had deposited on May 26th, if I had deposited Ether or Link, so this one swaps between Ether or Link, if I had put my money into this set, I would be comparing the two of these. If I had just held Ether, I would be up about 7% more. So there's a difference here of about 7%. Actually, I'm sorry, about 8%. And then with Link, I'm actually up an extra 4% or so, a little bit less than 4%. So yeah, again, you look at these sets and I just think about, am I doing better than I would have just holding Ether, holding Link, holding like other tokens? All right, so anyways, that's my review of all these different link-based sets. You can go to tokensets.com. If you click under Explore Sets, there's social trading sets, and you just go to Assets and choose Link, and then you get these 5 sets. And then under Robo Sets, there's 2 of them. And I think my key takeaway here is, I mean, no doubt, like I'm probably going to pay more attention to this Moonshot Capital Link ETH price action candlestick set. It's got nearly 3 months of performance and it's up 108%. And that's important to me only because I am comparing it to the performance of Ether and Link. So it has outperformed, this social set has outperformed Ether by 30% and Link by 25%. That is significant. However, if I go back to the Robo Sets, if I look at the inception, actually, let's look at going back 3 months comparing to the other social set. This Link RSI set is only up 6%, and this Link ETH RSI set is up, is down 0.5%. So if I'm trying to compare the best performing Link Robo set and the best performing social set, yeah, it's hard to not acknowledge that that social set is really the outlier in all of this. Before I go, I want to remind you that I've started up this DeFi Dad YouTube channel. So I'm still posting all of this to Twitter, but I'm trying to aggregate all of this content into a place where someone can go back at least and review these things in the future, or you can easily share them with a friend without having to search through a Twitter feed. So lots of videos here on the DeFi Dad channel, and please subscribe if you are interested to learn more. The other thing is check out the Bankless YouTube channel. So, Ryan runs Bankless along with David Hoffman. And so you've probably heard them on the Bankless podcast. I don't know if folks are aware, but I'm making all of the Bankless tutorials. So all of those tutorials are DeFi dad exclusive tutorials, and I try to cover content that I don't always cover here on my own channel. And these tend to be shorter, snappier videos that are easy to share with folks. So definitely take a look there and check out the playlist Bankless tutorials, and please subscribe to Bankless. It's a fantastic program. And the last thing is please subscribe to the defiant.substack.com. I write tutorials there and also work with Cami Russo, who does fantastic work. Even if I wasn't publishing there or Bankless, I would still encourage folks to subscribe to both. They are very good at curating the fire hose of new innovations and information coming out of the DeFi space. All right, well, I hope this is helpful, and thanks for checking out my video.